Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. The price of XRP is going to soar, and the naysayers out there, the XRP haters, well, they're not going to see the future that they think and want. No, despite the SEC attacking XRP itself, not just suing Ripple, but effectively just attacking XRP, claiming that it itself is the actual security. And if you look at the arguments, that's effectively what they're saying. No, they're not going to crush it. And crypto's certainly here to stay. I mean, it's been so fascinating in recent days seeing what crypto's doing after everybody keeps calling for Bitcoin to, not everybody, but a lot of people saying Bitcoin's going down to 12,000 or 10,000. And maybe those people are right, but without a wild card event, I just find that to be not particularly probable. If you have some sort of catastrophic thing happen that spooks markets globally, okay, fine. But XRP price is absolutely going to soar. And it is nice, though, even though I think it's fair to argue XRP price is artificially suppressed because of the SEC lawsuit, look at what's been happening. XRP is moving in tandem, as you would expect, with the broader crypto asset class, and it continues to be in the top 10 cryptos by market cap, as it has been its entire damn life. So I want to share with you what some people are having to say, but like the naysayers and the doomsday people out there, they are flatly wrong. I firmly believe that. I place my bets, and I've said many times before, either I'm wrong and XRP goes to zero, in which case, okay, I'm sad, and I'll ride the bitch to zero, or I'm right and it's going to be worth a damn fortune, and I've never felt so confident, even despite the SEC nonsense. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And it really is interesting seeing how XRP prices behave for the last couple years in this unprecedented climate, frankly. So obviously, as I keep saying, the SEC stuff, but it's unprecedented for crypto because we haven't seen the macro background exist until now that crypto is now living through. Not that there hadn't been pullbacks. Of course, there had been for crypto, but if you look at what else was going on in other markets, in the stock market, I'm telling you, crypto's never been tested in this way that it is. It really, truly is unprecedented. But if anybody out there actually thought that this would have been like some sort of doomsday scenario for crypto, my gosh, obviously not. So there's real utility to be had here. Bitcoin actually got as high today as $21,493, and it's pulled back a little bit since then. XRP was just a hair shy of 40 cents, and you got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 51 out of 100, indicating that market participants are not in fear. They're just feeling neutral. But again, when we were in that extreme fear mode and we were at 6 out of 100 on this chart, it felt impossible. The idea of being neutral or maybe even greedy, it seemed impossible, right? But you're never going to stay in extreme fear forever. That's completely ridiculous. And now we got positive headlines like this from the Crypto Basic. XRP bulls aim for $1 following major recovery. And there's an analyst, I don't want to get into the technical analysis part of it, but this particular analyst believes that there's strong reason to think that in the short term, you're going to see a $1 XRP. Then there was a chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay writing for Cointelegraph. And again, I don't want to go through the technical analysis itself, but I did read it. And he thinks it's possible the upside in the short term, you could see 51 cent XRP. Pretty good for a cryptocurrency being attacked by the SEC that's supposed to be zero by now, right? Pretty darn good. Now, there's this tweet from a Twitter account named RookieXBT who wrote the following earlier today. To be honest, if FTX had not happened and Bitcoin went up from where it was at in November to mid-high 20,000s, I'd still have been unsure as to whether bottom was in. The fact that it did happen and we went to the lows only to brush it off like it didn't happen makes me very optimistic. And so, folks, I think that's a pretty damn good point, and a very popular chart analyst, Don Alt, shared the following on that topic with his 454,000 followers. You tell me if you think this makes sense. I think the answer is yes, but Don Alt says, bottoms on bad news are infinitely more trustworthy than bottoms on good news. It's not fake strength, it's real. So think about this. The end of the world happened in November, and fine, I still think the contagion, I don't see how it doesn't spread, frankly, to some degree. But setting that aside, the fact that there is a real move to the upside, like, that's after everybody's been shaken out. Like, it's pretty incredible to see what we've been seeing. And then there was also this, and I just found this to be interesting. This comes from Caitlin Long. Now, Caitlin Long is the founder and CEO of Custodio Bank. And so basically, they're a cryptocurrency bank. And she wrote the following, though. The real news here is that 25% of Americans with income greater than $100,000 owned Bitcoin as of October 2022. Given the power structure of the United States, that's significant. Let's face it, the US system lets the rich buy access in DC. So, Bitcoin already has a powerful US political constituency. Now, folks, this is a point that I had made on and off over the years, is that as Bitcoin and crypto in general, continues to be adopted, it gets cemented that further in terms of long-term viability, because the people that are increasingly going to be running the country are increasingly going to be holding Bitcoin and XRP and pick your crypto. And it's just pretty interesting to just see the real world adoption of crypto go in that direction, which I think was pretty inevitable. I've literally been saying it's been inevitable for years now. And then there was this from Graham Stephan. I'm a fan of this guy. He's not explicitly a crypto guy, but he's a real estate guy who's just really big on finance. And he's got one of the most popular YouTube channels on the entire damn planet in the world of finance. But anyway, he shared this here. I'll make this full screen for those of you that care to look. He shared this and charts and wrote the following. Over the last 150 years, the U.S. stock market has never had a negative return over a 20-year period, even after adjusting for inflation. This is why if you are under 40, you 100% must have some part of your savings in the stock market. Now, so basically I wanted to make a broader point. And it explains my strategy when it comes to investing. It's I buy stuff and then I do nothing. That's it. And so why? Because data shows, and this is one more thing you can look at, the people, it's true of crypto, it's true of stock market, the people that hold, they buy and then they just hold, and they don't worry about timing and getting in and out of markets, they're the ones that have their net worth go up substantially. Now, over the short term, if you're looking from year to year, you could have a string of bad years in a row. But if you look for a significantly long period of time, and in this case 20 years is what he's citing here, there's never been an instance where you're not going to end up better off than you were before that 20 years. And not that you have to wait 20 years. I mean, you can see here's a 10-year section right here. It's almost all positive for that time period too. And he's got the 5-year and the 1-year, but you get the point. This is why my unsophisticated approach is my approach. Because I understand that it's the people emotionally making decisions that cause volatility, and I'm glad the volatility exists, but they harm themselves by making important financial decisions going that way. And so I just wanted to point this out to highlight that broader point. And then there was also this from Plan B, one of the most well-known analysts out there, 1.8 million followers on Twitter. He's the guy that applied the stock-to-flow model to Bitcoin. He's most famous for that. I don't really buy into the stock-to-flow model at this point. It's just... Because again, if you understand what it is and you understand that it has to do with the halving and the amount of Bitcoin that's produced from mining, how it reduces over time, with each subsequent reduction, with each halving, which happens roughly every several years, it becomes that much less important. Almost all the Bitcoin that will ever be mined is already out in existence. Over 19 million Bitcoin out of 21 million max have already been mined. So cut in half an already almost nothing number again and again and again, and it's just like, and even Plan B ceded that point, that he doesn't think that the stock-to-flow model is going to be relevant forever, but he does still seem to believe it. Either way, set that aside. He shared the Wall Street cheat sheet, which it's this chart right here. If you're in crypto, you've seen this before. I'm going to go ahead and assume that. It just shows the emotional state of buyers and sellers operating in markets and what they emotionally go through that causes this volatility, and they just behave the same again and again and again, cycle after cycle after cycle. And so he noted here that... he wrote disbelief. This is a bull trap, as if, because that's what you see at the end of of each bear market. When markets start to heat up, go to the positive, people don't believe it. They're like, this is fake. Things are gonna crater down and get worse. So this is a sucker's rally. It's a trap for anybody that's bullish, and you're gonna get eaten. But then it just keeps going. If it's at the end, and so what he's making here is the point he's making here is that the people that think that this is, they're just in disbelief here. Like, that's where we are in terms of the cycle, and he thinks that they're wrong. And then there was Alessio Restani, who is an absolutely fantastic chart analyst, in my humble opinion, and I'd highlight him more frequently. It's just that he doesn't frequently cover, XRP, he does sometimes, actually, and he doesn't all the time, he doesn't have regular updates on even crypto analysis. So he's just kind of like a broader finance chart analyst guy, anyway. But I'm a huge fan. He's got 65,000 followers here, but he's got, last I checked, like hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube, and I think he's fantastic. So I always am interested when he does speak his mind as it pertains to crypto. And so he wrote the following on this topic. I think Plan B makes a good point. I am also hearing a lot of disbelief, such as bull trap or suckers rally in social media. This pessimism is likely a contrary signal and bullish for Bitcoin. However, this depends on Bitcoin staying above December lows. So directionally, I think this is what's most probable. And I kind of made my case, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I think outside of the wildcard event or the crypto contagion spreading, the bottom's already in. And who knows, like if things do start to heat up and it's long enough before the crypto contagion spreads, even if a contagion does hit, maybe you don't see a new low if we've already recovered enough to the upside. Even if you take what would be quote unquote like a major hit, maybe we've already recovered enough where you're not going to see that, below $15,500 price action. So I'm looking at this positive developments, and even if this is kind of like a 2019 type of scenario, which many believe it will be, and even if we don't see a new Bitcoin high this year, it's still going to be trending in the right direction. We've got a lot to look forward to as XRP holders, because I firmly believe as long as we get positive news regarding the SEC v. Ripple case, and that XRP is going to continue to be allowed to exist in the United States, man, the rally from that news, and in a market where it's, you start to see even just a bit of a rebound, as long as we're not in true bear territory anyway. Can you imagine those things coinciding? I can. And man, if that happens, it's going to be a fun ride for XRP holders. Or we get a really bad ruling and then our lives are completely destroyed. So there's always that too. Flip a coin, right? All right, I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.